Welcome
Welcome
to Modern Mind,
Ancient Book,
where we, together, explore one of the most important books in human history. Isabella, welcome to another Modern Mind, Ancient Book.
Hello.
Today, we're going to do, and I think this is one of your favorite people in the Bible, a book called, what's that called?
Proverbs.
The Proverbs. And who's the author?
Solomon?
Solomon. What's his Hebrew name, do you know?
I don't know.
Shlomo.
Shlomo?
That's his Hebrew name. So, the title for this is Misale Shlomo, which means the Proverbs of Solomon. Can you say Misale Shlomo?
Huh?
Misale?
Misale Shlomo?
Shlomo. Yep, the Proverbs of Solomon. And this is called wisdom literature. Can you say wisdom literature?
Wisdom literature?
Literature. So it's like wisdom writings, right? So, do you know what wisdom means?
Yeah.
What does it mean? It's okay. Wisdom, here, let me help. So wisdom is something that is good, right? It's good.
Yeah.
And it's using your thought, meaning so thinking about something good.
Like thinking what to say?
Sure, thinking what to say, but the Bible focuses on what to do. So, the Bible says that the beginning of wisdom is the fear of God.
The good kind of fear, right?
Yeah. What is a good kind of fear? That's a good question. What is a good kind of fear?
I don't know.
Is it good to run in traffic?
No.
Okay, is it good to be afraid of cars?
You can be, but I don't know.
Is it good to run in the road in front of cars?
No.
Is it good to be afraid of cars when you're running in the road?
Yeah.
Is that a good kind of fear?
Yeah.
What other kinds of fear can you think of that would be good?
You can fear of, what's it? Whales?
Why would you be afraid of whales?
I don't know.
Okay. Are you afraid of heights?
Yes.
Okay. So if you were standing on top of a building, should you jump off of it?
No.
No, you should be afraid of that. Why?
Because you could die.
Yeah. Or get really, really hurt. So the purpose of Proverbs is to encourage Isabella, in this case, to be afraid of God, to learn how to be wise, to avoid breaking God's laws, and to live doing the things of God. And me too. That's what the purpose of the book of Proverbs is. So, the key verse is chapter 1 and verses 5 through 7. Can you read those?
Sure. The Proverbs of Solomon, the son.
Chapter 1, verses 5 through 7. Can you read those?
Yes.
Okay, read those.
The Proverbs of Solomon.
Chapter 1, Isabella, and verses See these little numbers here?
Yeah.
Those are the verses, okay? So when I point to them and I say chapter 1, and then I say verses 5 through 7, and then I ask you, can you read those? It means you're going to read chapter 1, verse 1, verse 2, verse 3, verse 4, and then verse 5, 6, and 7. I want you to read chapter 1, verses 5 through 7. Will you read those, please?
I don't get it.
Look at the numbers. This big number is what?
Chapter 1.
Okay. This little number is what?
2.
But what does the number mean?
Uh.
It's the verse. Okay? So if I say chapter 1 and then verses, that means more than one, 5 through 7, it means you're going to read these verses.
So 2 to 7?
Nope. Listen again. The book of Proverbs, chapter 1, verses 5 through 7. Read those, please.
So I read 5, 6, 7?
Yep, you got it. Good job.
A wise man will hear and increase in learning, and a man of understanding will acquire wise counsel. To understand a proverb and a figure, the words of the wise and their riddles.
Okay. So, what do you think that means?
I don't know.
Read it again and think about it. Read it out loud.
Number 6.
Whatever ones you want to read. You're reading 5 through 7.
Understanding.
Read it out loud, please.
1 sec.
Do you want me to read it? I'll read it, okay? Proverbs chapter 1, verses 5 through 7. A wise girl will hear and increase in learning, and a girl of understanding will acquire wise counsel. To understand a proverb and a figure, the words of the wise and their riddles. What are riddles?
Like, things that you have to solve?
Yeah, like, from the eater comes something to eat. Do you know where that's from?
No.
Oh, I've not taught you well. We're going to learn that one together, okay? That is actually from the Bible. Do you remember the guy who killed a lion?
No.
Do you remember the guy whose hair you had to cut? If you cut his hair, he became weak?
Oh, yeah, and the girl betrayed him?
Yeah, and the girl betrayed him. That was Samson. So from that, it's in the book of Judges. There's a part where Samson kills a lion, and then when he goes back, there's a beehive inside of it, and there's honey. From the eater comes something to eat. Right? From the body of the lion, there's a beehive inside of it, which is honey, and he eats the honey. From the eater, the lion who eats, cause something to eat. The honey from inside of it.
What?
That's a riddle.
But how is he supposed to have a hive inside him and bees?
Well, because the lion was dead and the bees made a hive inside of the lion.
Oh my gosh.
From the eater comes something to eat. That's a riddle, anyway. So, I know that Proverbs is a little bit tricky because right now you really have to think deeply about them. But we want to start that journey. I want you to start thinking about stuff like this so that you can become a thoughtful person. What do we always talk about when it comes to school? What are the 3 words that we talk about how to be good or successful at school? What did I teach you?
I don't know.
You You don't remember? You plan. Remember?
No.
You plan
Execute.
or
Organize and execute.
plan, organize, and execute. Say it.
Plan, organize, and execute.
Okay. And where do you think I got something like that from?
I don't know.
I think you're looking at the book. What does it say?
The book?
What is the title of the book?
The title?
Yeah. What do you call the book?
I don't know.
What does that say?
The Proverbs?
The Proverbs. Yeah. So, the Proverbs teach you to increase in learning. Right? They teach you to reach out to people who are wiser or smarter than you and ask their opinion of things.
I don't get it. Yeah.
So people who are wiser or smarter, when you ask like their opinion of things. Okay, so for instance, what's something that you could ask for help with?
My homework?
Okay, good. So let's say you say, Dada, can you help me, or you normally want me to check your homework, right?
Yes.
So I go and I check your homework and I find mistakes and then I ask you to correct them.
Yeah.
Okay, so that would make me your counselor. I counseled you.
What's a counselor?
In that case, I counseled you to learn how to do it better. Meaning I taught you, right?
Oh, like a teacher?
Yeah, like a teacher. Okay, so teacher, we'll use that word instead. So, the Bible tells you in Proverbs that you should always be learning, right?
Yeah.
That you should always be trying to find more information. It also teaches you to find teachers to help you find more information.
Like Jesus?
Like Jesus, but this is the Proverbs, so this is actually before Jesus. Does that make sense? Like time-wise line, Jesus was born a lot later than the Proverbs were written.
Oh.
Who wrote the Proverbs?
Solomon?
Solomon. So in this case, it would be the king of Israel that the people would be reading his Proverbs to learn things, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, if you find teachers that are trustworthy and you're always trying to gain more knowledge, then you would begin to understand more and you would learn more, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. In this book, in the Bible, in Proverbs, it's more about who?
More about Solomon?
More about the God Solomon served. Because the Bible is religious, right? It's about God.
What does religious mean?
That means a practice that has to do with the divine or God.
What does divine mean?
Divine means God. It's other. It's outside of people. The divine. We do not live forever. That which is divine lives forever. We have bodies. The divine have celestial bodies. Celestial means like the stars.
I always thought God's made of light.
Yeah, like a body of light. That's fair. That's actually a pretty biblical way of seeing who God is. Okay. The book of Proverbs was written by who?
Solomon?
Solomon. And they are a collection of wisdom written by Solomon. And it's broken out in chapter and verse. Can you show me chapter 1, verse 19?
So are the ways of everyone who gains by violence. It takes away the life of its possessors.
Ooh, you don't want to do violence. Show me chapter 2 and verse 5.
What? Then you will discern the fear of the Lord and discover the knowledge of God.
Good job.
Knowledge.
The knowledge of God. So, see, you've already learned a little bit more. You learned how to use the Bible now in the chapter and verse thing, right?
At least.
Yeah, that was really good. You are increasing in knowledge.
Oh, I see what you're doing there.
And how did you increase in knowledge? Because you sat down with the counselor or a teacher and me, your father, and I taught you a little bit about the book of Proverbs.
Yeah.
And about the Bible, because the chapter and verse structure in the Bible is the same everywhere. So if you understand that, you can read all of the books by looking at the chapters and verses. So when somebody says the book of Matthew, chapter 2, verse 10, you know how to find it.
No.
You don't have to do it right now. Okay, so we did the key verse. We did who wrote it. We did a little bit about what wisdom is. What is wisdom?
Wisdom.
In Proverbs, what is wisdom? It's in chapter 1, verses 5 through 7.
Chapter 1, verses 5, 7. A wise man will hear and increase in learning, and a man of understanding will acquire wise counsel. To understand a proverb and a figure, the words of the wise and their riddles. The fear of the Lord is beginning of knowledge. Fools will despise wisdom and instruction.
So, fools despise wisdom and instruction.
What?
But the fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge.
What does despise mean?
Despise means hate, dislike, don't want it. That's what despise means.
Why?
Well, that's what happens. Sometimes people despise people. Sometimes people despise work. Sometimes people
despise God.
Yeah, that's true. Some people do. And we have to pray for them. Because God still loves them.
Even though they despise Him.
Yeah. The Bible says, even when God hated us, He sent His Son. No, I'm sorry. Even when we hated God, He sent His Son.
He didn't hate us.
He didn't hate us. I don't know why I said that. So, there's a very important lesson in Proverbs about fearing God mostly. That's the start, okay? And so we talked about some ways that fear is good, and
bad.
There are some ways that fear is bad. So let's talk about the fear of God, and let's think of bad and good ways. So what would be a bad way to be afraid of God?
I don't know.
Is He gonna get you for every little thing that you do?
No.
If you steal a cookie, are you going to hell?
Of course not.
Well, theft is not good, right? Yeah. There's a commandment that says you shall not steal. So can you steal?
No.
No, it's illegal, right? That's the law. But if you steal, are you immediately condemned forever?
What does condemn mean?
are you immediately judged or hated forever?
No.
Because you broke the law?
I don't know about that.
No, that would be a bad fear of God. If you were afraid of God so much that you never, ever, ever felt like He could ever forgive you for something that you did, like stealing, that would be a bad fear. Right?
Yeah.
Because God will forgive you. He loves you just like I love you. You know that, remember, we've talked about this. What have I told you about making a mistake? If you ever did something bad, what did I tell you I wanted you to do? I want you to tell me. Right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I want you to tell me, and I want you to be honest with me, and I want you to tell me the truth. And then what did I say? Would I be mad at you after that?
You would be less mad at me?
I would be much less mad at you. And would it change the punishment? Yes, it would. If you tried to hide it from me and act like it didn't matter anymore, that would hurt you. Because then once I found out, I would realize that 1, you didn't respect me, and 2, you didn't love me, and 3, you didn't trust me. Right?
Yeah.
And then that would make the punishment worse because I would think, Isabella, I've always loved you. I've always taken care of you. I gave you all your food. I paid for your school. I gave you a place to sleep. I told you that I loved you when you smelled like poop.
Wow. Do you have to? Wow.
But while I was changing your diapers, I loved you, but you didn't come to me. Why didn't you come to me and tell me that you made a mistake? Right?
When I had diapers?
Yeah. Not when you had diapers, but listen. When you make a mistake, you can come to me, and I'll always love and forgive you. You should be afraid to do bad things, but you should not be afraid of me. You should not be afraid of God, because He loves you. Let's say goodbye.
Bye-bye. Thank you for joining us. Come back soon.
Thank you for joining us for Modern Mind, Ancient Book. We hope that the time spent with us was valuable for you. It certainly was for us. Like Isabella said, please come back soon.